Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Plumbob's girlfriend, but you can call me Rachel. So I haven't uploaded in a while. It's been about 10 months at this point, and I know that my videos don't have a ton of views, but if you are wondering, I feel compelled to explain why. So almost exactly 1 year ago, the real life relationship I was in ended, and my partner was the one who encouraged me to even start my YouTube channel. And he helped me set up the computer that I play from, and he was the one who helped me figure out how to record my game and everything. So I had a really hard time separating him from my decision to continue uploading. We're still friends. We actually still live together because we work together. I mean, we kind of had to get over a couple things pretty quickly, and it's been a hard year. Because I did spend a lot of time not even turning my computer on because it made me really sad, and I have had some bouts of depression over the last year, but I feel like I'm in a little bit better place today because I finally realized that my relationship with this game should not be affected by that relationship ending. So here I am trying to be a better girlfriend to Plum Bob at the end of the day. So I've been working from home, and I feel like I should be used to talking into a microphone, but I'm probably a little rusty, especially since my last few videos that I even uploaded didn't have any kind of voiceover. But that being said, let's just move on. I'm going to tell you now about the random build that I did today. So this build is what I imagine to be kind of a perfect grandparents' home. I feel like it's modest, but there's still room for the grandkids to come and stay the night. And there's a lot of activities for people to do together. And I was inspired a lot by this new Nifty knitting pack. And I'll explain why. Because in happier life news, my brother and his wife just welcomed a baby girl. She isn't my family's first grandkid, but she is the first girl, and you can apply whatever meaning to that you feel like. But for me, I feel like it's my chance to have a relationship with a kid where I have some kind of influence. My nephews don't really care what I think sometimes, but I feel like I've always had a really good relationship with young children, and I used to nanny, and the little girl I used to nanny, and I had been really close, so I feel like I can kind of do that again here with my niece. But on that next note, my mom was actually able to retire this year. So she worked for the school district in my hometown up for like 25 years or something like that. And she decided to retire at the end of this year. And this was a plan from the get-go. She kind of made this decision at the beginning of the last school year, and it just happened to work out. Not only with the fact that my niece was born just last month, but also with this pandemic and the fact that I would be really upset if she had to go back to school in a couple of weeks, because the districts in my area don't start school until September. So they have a little bit more time to plan this coming school year. But just even the thought that she might have had to go back to school, the thought of any kids having to go back to school at this point really bothers me. This isn't a political channel by any means, but I feel compelled to say that at the very least. If you have the means to keep your kids home, do it, because there are people working in those schools who may have no other option than to go into the school every day and risk themselves. And that's just, it's a scary world that we're currently living in. But anyway, so the original plan before anything even happened with the pandemic was that my mom would become my niece's primary babysitter until my niece starts school in a few years, which of course also depends on COVID and my parents, or my brothers and my parents' ability to maybe homeschool her if they have to. It's all up in the air. We'll see what happens. But anyway, as I was making this build, I couldn't stop thinking about my mom and the things that she'll get to do when she takes care of my niece. My mom loves to garden, and I love to garden, and I got that from her. And I can't wait to see my niece playing out in my parents' yard and maybe helping my mom plant flowers or something like that, because that's something that I really loved to do when I was a kid. And I just kind of hope that she is like that when she's old enough to be. I mean, she's literally less than a month old at this point, so this is just me being hopeful and excited for her to grow up and for me to get to see her grow up and everything. Also, another thing my mom is doing, which is just the most apt timing, is that she's making a baby yarn doll for my niece. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm not really sure, except for the fact that my mom has a lot of leftover yarn because she does knit, that she decided to make my niece a doll, like to have as like a little lovey that she can kind of keep with her when she's sad or whatever, or I don't know, just a toy. She's just making a doll. That's the long and short explanation of it. But we all have a little bit more time for arts and crafts during this pandemic. My mom's no different, and Nifty knitting just came out, and it made me think of my mom, because my mom likes to knit, and she's making a yarn doll for my niece. So I was thinking about her and what she would want as a retiree, watching her youngest grandchild. I do have a version of my childhood home up on the gallery. I don't expect anyone to go sifting through all of my builds to find it, but if you were interested in seeing what my actual childhood home was like, you could. I haven't updated it in a long time. There have been several packs that have come out since then that might be more appropriate than the ones that I used in the first place, but this build is not to look like my family home. It's just like what I would imagine my mom would want while she watches my niece. And that's all. And speaking of the pack, I did just download it today before starting this build, and it's kind of weird. It seems like I'm missing some items, so that's really strange. If you can let me know in the comments if you've had the same issue, or if you've heard of this issue, that would be helpful. But I thought it was really random. There was some stuff from this pack that I was really looking forward to playing with and using, so hopefully all I need to do is update my game or something. Like, you know, those hanging planters that we were seeing in some of the previews and like the game trailer and everything. I was really excited to use that, and maybe it could be honestly that my sim needs to build or create that item before I can play with it. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, but it felt like the kind of item that I would be able to play with right away. It didn't seem like something that I would need to go through gameplay to use, so it could be a glitch. I could also just not know enough about this pack as I play with it. I might learn more, so we'll see. But the long and short of that is that I would like to clutter this build up even more. My parents have lived in their home for 30 years and 30 plus years at this point, and they have clutter, and as them being my main grandparent examples at this point, I lost a couple of my grandparents over the last few years, so their house was the same way though. They lived in it for decades and it had lots of clutter, but there was a place for everything, and everything was in its place at all times, and that's how my mom is too. So I was hoping to kind of clutter this place up with some more of the new pack items, but if I just have to wait until I update my game or whatever it is, that's fine. I might upload a new version of this later. Either way though, I think this house turned out really cute. I know it's all functional because I did do a walkthrough with a sim, but I did forget a couple things that I'll make sure to add before I upload it to the gallery. Like, I forgot a fire alarm, and I wouldn't want anyone's sim to die in a fire, and I forgot a thermostat, so if you have seasons, I don't want your sims to freeze to death or anything like that. But yeah, so I'll make sure to get those things added in before I put it online, and yeah, we'll just go from there. And I can see this house working really well for an elderly sim couple who have their family over for barbecues on the rig or anything like that. I didn't use the most like the fanciest barbecue, but you could easily update that and make this the house for people to come to for outdoor gatherings. There's room on this lot that I used that I could have done some more outside activities, but I kept it pretty simple for this build anyway, and maybe with gameplay you would want to add some more stuff to it. That's all up to you, of course. You could also use this for a small family if you wanted to switch out the second bedroom's double bed with a twin and make that a child's room. I think that would be a really cute use for it. The sky's kind of the limit on that, on what you want to use this house for. I did not worry too much about the pack use that I used. So I'm sorry if you don't have all the packs that I used on this build. And if you want for me to make focused builds using just a couple of specific packs, let me know and I'd be happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments if you only have a couple of packs and you want me to focus a build on that. That would be great. I would love that kind of inspiration. And also, if you have any lot types that you want to see built, that would be a cool suggestion that I would be happy to take too. So I like to make a lot of community centers and stuff like that. So if you have any ideas for what I could do, that would be great. And I would gladly take any suggestions I'd get. I also didn't worry too much about the budget when I was building this house because I figured for the scenario that I have kind of drummed up in my head that elder Sims might have more resources to own a slightly more expensive home. So I didn't worry about making sure that this was like a first time house or whatever. Like it's not a new build or anything like that. So I am thinking about trying to do a gameplay challenge at some point, and I might do that kind of series and upload that to YouTube. And if you would like to see something like that, please let me know in the comments, and also let me know what kind of challenges I should do. I personally love legacy challenges, but I know that they can take a long time, and I don't know if I have the attention span to do a full legacy challenge for YouTube, but I'd be happy to try some others if you want to see what I get my Sims into during regular gameplay or challenge gameplay. And anything to kind of add some more interest to the game would be super helpful. I mean, I figure this channel would be primarily about building, but I can expand on that. And I'm not going to end up doing like makeup videos or anything like that, but I could add a little bit more types of Sims videos or gaming videos even too. I did recently start expanding the types of games that I play. I very badly play Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and it's not fun to watch, but it's fun to play, and I probably won't post that kind of gameplay to this channel because I want this to be a family-friendly channel, and that for me is not a family-friendly game because I curse throughout the entire time. I just get very passionate while I'm playing it. I do also play like Phantasy Star Online 2. I have that for some reason. I played it for a little bit. I haven't played it in a few weeks though, so I don't know if I would film myself playing that, but I have done I have streamed that game on Twitch. I've only streamed the one time, but I'd be happy to try streaming a little bit more. So let me know what you want to see, and I'm happy to take any suggestions that you might have. But on that note, that's kind of all I have to talk about. I kind of added even more than I thought I was going to say, honestly. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the final product. Like I said, I think it's a cute little house, but I would be happy to hear what your thoughts are on it. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I'm hoping to be out of my funk at this point and able to upload regularly again from here on out. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling after this video gets uploaded. But yeah, I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.